We have the Xbox event coming up in a couple days, and I felt like this is a great time to go over my expectations when it comes to Avowed. For those of you that's been following the channel, you guys know I'm a huge fan of this genre. I've been following this game with my ear to the ground since it was announced back in, I think, like 2020, 19. I don't know which one of the years it was, but I have made videos on this, and I felt like this is most likely the event we're going to get the most information on this game with. So it's time I break down a little bit more what I want from this game at this event. But before we get on with that video, you guys know how it is. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. You can always subscribe to the channel for weekly content. Don't forget to go over there and follow me at Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. Without any further ado, let's talk about Avowed. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you for another video. You guys know how excited I am for Avowed and Starfield, but you know, this particular video we're going to talk about Avowed. Now, there's a lot of you that have been following me for a while. Like I said, you guys know I've been #1 on the hype train when it comes to Avowed. I'm a huge fan of Obsidian, and I love the content they bring, from Stick of Truth all the way to the Outer Worlds, Pillars of Eternity. They have done a very good job in this genre. Knights of the Old Republic too, and that's why I feel like this studio is going to surprise a lot of people at this event. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what they do at that event. It matters what I want them to do at that event. And that's what this video is going to be about. Well, I personally feel like how this game is shown on the 12th is going to determine whether or not people really gravitate towards Avowed. And I do feel like, you know, when it comes to showing these type of games at these events, it is very important on how you do it. Now, there's a few ways Microsoft can show Avowed at this event. They could show like a montage of gameplay, maybe some story oriented stuff, but I feel like the best thing that they need to do is they need to stay away from that montage stuff. This is the one game that I do feel we need to see full-blown gameplay of, you know, maybe the first type of region. You know, you can even show some of the, you know, the faction systems that's in this game. You got to really show people why this is going to be Obsidian's version of Skyrim. Now, I know people don't like when you start comparing games to other games. People compared the Outer Worlds to Fallout, and I saw a lot of people getting backlash for that. But I do feel like when it comes to anyone that could make a Skyrim version type game, it would be Obsidian. They have proven to the demographic, to the consumer base over and over again that they know how to make these type of games. So I feel like it is okay to compare this game to Skyrim. Is it going to be exactly like Skyrim? No, but I do feel like we can get something that maybe not necessarily be on that same level as Skyrim, but something that's going to be engaging, immersive, and I think that's all that really matters. When it comes to this event, I don't really want any scenario where I see montages of gameplay. I want to see how the mechanics of the game works. I want to see how the spell system of the game works. I want to see factions. I want to see the scale of the world. And I know that this is a lot to ask for and to do in some kind of conference that they have to share it with other games and other studios. So I'm okay with meeting in the middle a little bit. You know, let's have a good story oriented trailer that gives a lot of background on who the factions in the game is going to be. Keep in mind that the world in Avowed is the world from Pillars of Eternity. So when you take that lore, a lot of people aren't going to know that lore. A lot of people don't play the type of gameplay that Pillars of Eternity had to offer. And I think that's one of the reasons that Obsidian took that type of world that they have built in that game, and they're building this massive RPG first person, maybe third person, I don't know. We might find that out on the 12th. And I think that's the reason they're making this game, because they're trying to open up this world more to the consumers that wouldn't play those Pillars of Eternity games. So I do think they have to consider that in this. They have to look into this, but like, look, we don't need to do everything in this conference. Let's have some kind of like YouTube video that we can point people in the direction where, you know, if you want to see some gameplay, some very in-depth gameplay, we'll have a YouTube video for you. If you want to see more on the faction system, we have a YouTube video for that. If you want to see more on like the god system and how that operates, we'll show you more of that. We'll show you the skill trees that we're ready to show you at this time. We'll have a lot more in-depth videos on YouTube on that. So that's kind of my middle ground. I understand that they can't go out there 100% and show you everything at this conference, because they still have to show Starfield, they still have to show Redfall, they got to show a lot of stuff on this. So I think probably the max you'll see from Avowed on this stage on June the 12th is probably anywhere from maybe 5 to 8 minutes. I think that's pretty much the sweet spot on that. But you have to make that video you show at this very captivating. You have to make it have a good first impression where people even care to go to another source such as YouTube, which are probably already on YouTube watching the event. But you know, you have to make it to where people want to know more information about that game. And I think that's why probably a story trailer would be the best thing you can do. But just don't make it about the story trailer. Like, we know that there is ways that you can show one thing but show another in the same form. You could show a story trailer but still show us the massive world and the immersion that you can have in this game by having splices of gameplay in the montage. Now, like I said, it cannot just be a montage. Obsidian, Xbox, do not just have a montage of gameplay in this. There's got to be another place, a website, YouTube, somewhere else where we could go get more additional information and see more extended footage of gameplay. I'm sure if they're doing this, it's already unlisted on YouTube, on their Xbox channel, and that's fine. You know, you'll probably get the better fidelity content going on YouTube after the conference anyway, with the capabilities of seeing something in 4K and something like that. But I feel like when it comes to this conference, just show a good story trailer, show the purpose of the story when you're doing the main storyline in Avowed, show good combat style, show good, you know, a little bit of spells, show a little bit of those signals that we saw in the original trailer, and then show the massive amounts of what Avowed could lead to, why you should play Avowed. And then after that, you know, maybe have someone come out and say, if you want to see more on the individual things of this trailer, we have more for you on the YouTube channel. Look, I know that this game isn't going to most likely be the highlight of the event. I know that that's probably going to be directed towards Starfield, and look on the channel, I have a video up for Starfield, probably out at the same time depending on when you caught this video. I just personally feel like if they play their cards right and they show Avowed in such a good nature when it comes to what's going to be at this conference and what's going to be on YouTube afterwards, I think that they could easily steal the spotlight from Starfield. And I feel like Obsidian deserves it. They have shown us time after time again that it doesn't matter what type of RPG that they make, you're still gonna like it. Hell, they even went and did Grounded, something that is completely different than what they've done in the past. That's why I feel like Avowed deserves the respect, and I hope Xbox and Obsidian really go above and beyond to give us a good representation of what this game's gonna be at launch, or some form of it. I know sometimes when it comes to these conference trailers, they're not exactly one-to-one when it comes to the real game. I hope that this is more one-to-one than anything else. I don't like when someone shows a product on stage that when you actually get it, it's a different thing. But I don't think we have really much to worry about that. I haven't seen too much of Obsidian that says that that is something that they do. Generally, what you see is what you get with Obsidian. We saw that with the Outer Worlds. But I hope, man, I hope that we see some very good coverage of Avowed in the next couple days. In the comment section below, tell me what you guys think is the most important thing that we need to see from Avowed to really give a perspective of the scale and the immersion of this game. I'm very curious to hear you guys' opinion.